In the shadowy corners of history, some mysteries aren't just unsolved, they're still happening. They linger like echoes in an empty room, refusing to fade away. This isn't a story about a crime that was closed, or a ghost that was put to rest. This is the story of a phone call that started 40 years ago, and for all anyone knows is still on the line. It began on a quiet October night in 1982. Deep within the hum of a suburban 911 dispatch center, a call came through. The operator, a veteran named Shirley, picked up, expecting the usual late-night fare. But there was no voice on the other end, no plea for help. Just a sound, so faint it was almost imperceptible. A terrified, shallow whisper, a single word lost in the static. Shirley's trained voice cut through the silence. 911, what is your emergency? The only reply was the soft, rhythmic sound of breathing, a fragile cadence against a backdrop of electronic haze. The line stayed open. Protocol demanded she hang up after a few minutes, but something held her back. The call was logged, traced to a disconnected number and left as an anomaly. But the line never disconnected. As days turned into years and years into decades, that open line became a piece of department folklore. The original reel-to-reel tape, brittle with age, was eventually digitized. The recording was passed down from one generation of technicians to another, a strange inheritance of audible dread. Through the crackle and pop of aging magnetic tape, and later the clean hiss of digital silence, the breathing remained. It was a constant, a phantom pulse that beat steadily through the changing technologies of the modern world. Faintly, behind the breathing, other sounds bled through. The distant echo of a news broadcast from the 90s, the tinny riff of a pop song from the early 2000s, fragments of time captured on a line that should have gone dead long ago. Decades later, a small team of paranormal researchers specializing in electronic voice phenomena stumbled upon the legend of the endless call. They obtained a copy of the 40-year-old digital file and subjected it to forensic analysis. Using state-of-the-art software, they isolated the sound of the breathing. The pattern was unnervingly consistent, a perfect, unbroken loop that had not wavered in over 4 decades. More chillingly, they confirmed that the faint background noises weren't just random interference. They were real audio artifacts, echoes from the world outside, as if the open line had been acting as a ghostly antenna, collecting stray signals from the airwaves of history. Driven by a mix of academic curiosity and primal fear, the team managed to trace the call's original point of origin. It wasn't a phone booth or a public line, but a specific address, a long-abandoned house at the edge of town, its windows boarded up, its paint peeling like sunburnt skin. They entered the decaying structure, setting up sensitive audio equipment in the dust-choked living room. With a shared, nervous glance, they played the original recording, the faint, whispered word from 1982, into the silent, waiting space. For a moment, there was nothing. Then, from their own high-fidelity speakers, a new voice emerged, crisp and impossibly clear, cutting through the silence of the room. It was not a whisper. It was a calm, patient reply. I've been waiting.